Imagine you're in the fourth grade again and you're taking the time taker test. You look down and you look like you just finished and teacher blew the whistle, so you stop and you look down and you think you did a good job, and you see 2 times 12, well, that's obviously 24, but you wrote down 42. You see 6 times 5 is 30, but you wrote down 3. So fast forward a couple more years, and you get the book in freshman year of high school, you get the book Huckleberry Finn, and you open it up, and words are just moving, and letters are moving, and letters and words are disappearing. You go to your mom and ask her, what's wrong, and you go to the doctor to go see what was wrong, and they tell you have dyslexia. That is my story. Not many people know about dyslexia, and they hear it, and they think that a person is diseased or a person is stupid. The New York Times Magazine says that only 8% of its population suffers from dyslexia. What is dyslexia? Dyslexia is a general term for disorders that involve difficulty in learning, reading, and interpreting words, letters, and other symbols, but that do not affect general intelligence. It is a learning disability. Dyslexia, it's something that happens in the brain. It happens in the left, usually in the left temporal lobe of the brain, right behind the ear, which controls the language. It also affects the neurons as stuff is happening when it crosses your face. It slows down. The neurons from one lobe to the other slows down. What helps with someone? How do you know if you have dyslexia? Well, you might flip letters or numbers, like that. You might flip A's and B's, C's and D's. It could be any of the letters of the alphabet. Numbers, it could be any number, like 1 and 7, 9 and 6. They are also extremely disorganized. They flip their lefts and rights. When I was in driver's ed, my driver's ed teacher told me to turn left, and instead I turned right down a one-way road. It is extremely hard for them to read. It's just something that they have a hard time with, where it might make them seem lazy, but they aren't lazy. It's just so hard for them to read. It takes them 2 times longer to do homework. A normal person might take 30 minutes, but it'll take them 60 minutes just because it's just so much longer. They prefer to listen to what the teacher says than take notes, because when they take notes, their handwriting would be all disorganized and would have trouble hearing what the teacher is saying. They also hate being asked so many questions, because it's harder for them to comprehend what is being said and trying to spit back out the information. There are also many things that help people with dyslexia, like extra times on tests. Harvard did this study. They took 40 people, 20 people with dyslexia, 20 people without dyslexia, and then they put them into 2 groups, so 10 of each in each group. The first group, they gave people with dyslexia a test and gave them 30 minutes to do it. People without dyslexia got an A, but people with dyslexia got a C. Then they gave the other group the same exact test, but gave them 60 minutes. The people without dyslexia got a C, but the people with dyslexia got an A. They also prefer to listen to books, just because it's just how hard it is to listen, just to read off of stuff. It just makes it more easier to listen to it. There are also many benefits from dyslexia. They are excellent in long-term memory for experiences, locations, and faces. They have a strong sense of justice, they're emotionally sensitive, and strive for perfection. They can also express thoughts as reality. They are extremely creative. They love playing complex sports or doing complex puzzles. People with dyslexia also see things faster. but it takes a little bit longer to process the information. They can decipher different things easier than other people without. They love complexity. They have the ability to visually, spatial, and lateral thinking, so they can think outside of the box. There are also many famous people who are very successful in life who have dyslexia, like Albert Einstein, Andrew Jackson, George S. Patton, Thomas Edison, and Steve Jobs. It doesn't matter if you're dyslexic or not. It's just a part of who you are, and people might think that you are stupid, but it's not the case. If they just have to work longer.